Alright everyone, this is Banu again. I am back with my next video tutorial, probably the 17th one of the video series, how to solve design aptitude, non-verbal and ability questions. This is after a long time because I have been busy with my other works, and still I'm having plenty of work. So in this video, I am just taking 5 questions as I have shown here, so that I'll quickly wind this up and get going with my works. So let me flash you the questions as usual. So this is one question where we have to identify the area of this particular shaded region, and the other one which is kind of simple, which is like given this shape, which of the given options will fit it. So I think you'll be able to do that, but in case if whatever the explanation I'm going to give will help you, let's see. And here is something similar, which is like given this particular pattern or set of blocks, what will the top view, how will be the top view look like, right? So of the given options, that is what we need to identify. And here is something kind of difficult question, which is like given the set of these symbols and associated small shapes here, as you can see, and they mentioned this as code. What will be the symbol or the set of patterns for this particular figure? So that is what we need to identify. And the final is something interesting related to mathematics, because in the past video I have released on math basics for non-maths, and I wanted to cover how those basics, very basics, can be used for solving such a difficult looking questions. So this is one of them, in which we have to identify the area of this black shaded region. So that's it. So these 5 questions I will try to quickly solve and get going. So yeah, as usual, let me take the first question. And the first question is, in the visual given below, the diameter of the circle is 12. Okay, the given thing is they have given the diameter as 12. Find the area of the shaded path portion. Sorry, the portion we have to identify. So we need to identify this particular portion. So what is that we need to do? How, like, if you are coming from non-math background or not having much experience or so, probably this might make you confused or make it feel like this is difficult question, but actually this is not. So let us see why I'm saying this. So if I do something like, let's say, if I draw a line, let's say considering this particular pattern here highlighted. So if I join the center with this, let's call this point, something like this. You can see likewise. Let me draw it precisely. Yeah. So likewise, if I, let's say, draw line joining these two lines, okay, and finally, let me take this color, this point and this point. If you see this, what is happening, let me zoom in and explain better. Sorry, the extra portion here, right, is being sorry, is being compensated by the depression here, the vacant space here, right? So if I consider that I shift this portion here, so it is going to actually make a perfect straight line here, right? So something like, if you see this portion, this extra portion here, this, if I cut this portion and place it here, it will exactly fit, because this is kind of symmetry about this particular line, which is clearly visible. The same with this one. So I will cut this portion and I will fix it here, so that it will form a line. So so this is very simple. This is going to be a triangle, and we don't have to worry about these curves. So that's it, simple. So if you understand this, the solving of this is going to be easy. And they have given that the diameter of the circle is 12 centimeter, which means the radius is going to be half of it, which is 6 centimeter, right? So this particular side connecting the center to the point on the circle, this length is going to be 6, this length is going to be 6, and we want to identify this length. We will see how we can do that. For that, like this pattern we have, let us count how many patterns we have first, right? And so this is one pattern, second pattern, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, right? So yes, so we have 6 patterns of such thing, right? So now if you see, I have explained that basic video of mathematics that for completing a circle from the center, the total angle required is going to be 360 degrees, which is obvious, right? So 360 degrees correspond to one complete rotation, or the complete angle of the circle. Now if you see these patterns which are identical, right? So they are accounting to 6 numbers, which means 6 of such patterns are placed, which means each of them, if I want to find out the angle between each of these, so that is possible, that is obtained by just dividing the total angle by the number of segments, which is 6, right? I hope this is simple. So this is going to be your 60 degrees. So which means one particular pattern, if I consider instead of this curvature, if I assume that's a straight line, the angle between these two lines is going to be 60 degrees. Okay, so if you have this information, it is quite easy to come up with the answer. So let me take more space here. Yeah. Okay, so let me draw that triangle again for your understanding. Why? Okay, excuse me. All right, so this one. Okay, and the bottom line. Okay, so what we understood is this is our 60 degrees, right? This is 6 centimeter, this is 6 centimeter too. The this side, the red one is 6 and this side is 6. This one is also going to be, but let us say we don't know about this, because basically 60 degrees, and since the lengths of these two sides are equal, this is going to be something called equilateral triangle. Okay, so by equilateral means all the sides are equal and all the angles are going to be equal. So this 60 is going to be distributed here 60, and this is also going to be 60 degrees, and this length is also going to be 6. That is basically equilateral triangle based on the sides. But anyway, let us assume you don't know that. Still you can identify how to solve. I mean, still you can solve this. Let me explain that. So if I draw a perpendicular line, a vertical line passing through this point, which will divide this particular line into 2 halves, right? So this let me erase this. So the half angle here is going to be 30 degrees and the half here is going to be 30 degrees, right? So now I know this, I know one angle, so it is easy to find these two, this length and this length using formulas from trigonometry, which is sine, cos, and tan angles. I'm not sure whether you will be able to understand that. Okay, so since we need tans and all here, tan theta and all, I'm not sure if you can solve that. If you know this, the process is easy, which means if you take tan 30, I will explain that tan 30 is going to be opposite side survey, no, not tan, sorry. We have hypotenuse, so we have to take sine. So sine 30 is going to be opposite side, which is, let's say this is x and this is y. X by hypotenuse, which is 6. So x is going to be 6 into sine 30. Sine 30 is half, so x is going to be 3. You can see this has come 3. So since this is midpoint, because this line is actually splitting the line into 2 halves, so this is also going to be 3. So which is what I have already explained. this is also going to be 6 because this is equilateral triangle, which is proved from here. Okay, so like that you can also take cos 30 and measure this angle. So why I am doing, yeah, let me tell why I am doing this. Because I want to find the area of this particular triangle. So area can be obtained either in two ways, I mean two formulas we have. If the sides are given of equal side angles, the formula is going to be root s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c. That is one thing. If you are not able to remember this, ignore, no issue. We have one basic formula which is of base into height. I have explained how we arrived at this one in the previous video if you have watched that. So we have, let us say we have a rectangle, and the area of this is going to be base into height, a into b, right? And if I have a diagonal here, which is the point the line joining the opposite corners, so this is going to divide the rectangle into two halves, which is nothing but two triangles, right? So and the area of this is going to be half of it, which is half of a into b. So that's why half base into height. So I have already explained this. So we can use this if you are not able to remember this. So half base into height, right? So half base is here. Let's say if this is the triangle, half base is going to be 6 and height is going to be this, which you can identify either by using cos 30 value, or if you don't that formula, let us see what we can do. Simple. Okay, so let me draw that again. I'm just trying to make sure that you are able to get everything. So this is 6, this is 6. Let me put a midpoint here, the point in the middle. This is going to be 3 half, this is going to be half, and I am interested to find this height. Then only I can put a value here. Okay, so what is that height? Given this half, I have already mentioned in the video that Pythagoras theorem, right? Hypotenuse square is going to be opposite side square plus adjacent side square. You can use this formula instead of having cos and sines. Okay, so here hypotenuse, let us, if you ignore this particular triangle, ignore this, only consider this particular triangle. This is going to be the largest side, which is the hypotenuse. Let us say this is going to be adjacent or opposite side. So hypotenuse square is going to be opposite side square, which is let's say h, what we want, h square, plus adjacent side square is going to be 3 square. I hope this is clear. So 6 square, which is 36. If I take this 3 square to that side, minus plus is going to be minus, 3 square is going to be 9 is equal to h square. 36 minus 9 is going to be how much? 3 is 27, right? Is going to be h. So h is going to be some value, square root of 27, which is going to be 4, 4, 16, 5, 5 is 25, 5 point something if I am not wrong. Calculator. 27 square root. Okay, 5.2. Fine. So we got the height now. So let me plug it here. Half base is 6, height is 5.2. So this is going to be 2 3s, 3 to the 6, 3 5 are 15. So something around 15.6 I am getting. Okay. So yeah. So why I am telling all this? So the basic is, given this configuration, you don't have to worry. We just have to modify it. Assume that it is just forming a triangle, and once you are fine with that logic, then how to identify the area, which is either half base into height, or this lengthy formula. If you can remember this, your life is going to be easy. But it's okay if you are not able to remember this. You can just go with whatever basics which is this Pythagoras theorem, which is kind of must for your design exam, I would say, this particular one. Okay, because this particular formula is going to be used in many parts, many ways. Okay, so using this and triangle, you have the area of the triangle is going to be half base into height, which I have already explained. So using this you can easily arrive at the answer of this question, right? So I hope this is clear. This is straightforward, pretty straightforward. Let's move to the next question. If you are not clear with this question, you can just drop in the comment so that I can try to explain this in a better way in the later videos, if I'm planning to do that. Okay, anyway, the second question is, the given solid is part of a complete cube. From the options below, which solid would complete the cube upon joining? Means like this is part of a cube. Cube means kind of box, let us say. Okay, so only part of this is this one. So the remaining part, which of the options is? So this is kind of observation. The observation is what is needed right now. So what we will do, what I will explain. I know many of you would be able to do this, but still, in case if some of them have doubt here. So basically, I will check which of them are projecting outside, which of them are top, which of them are notches, something like that. So if you see this particular, let's say, hand, okay. So above and below that we have empty space, right? And if you see this one, okay, it appears as if material should be above this as well, something like this, right? Okay, something like this, clearing that, right? So which means in the first, let us say this, or let me do one thing. I think this is going to be better. So let us split this into number of rows. Let's say this particular, let's say this as first row, okay, first row. This particular leg or hand piece, let's say this as second row, okay. Likewise, let's say this as third row, another fourth row. So which means between this and this, I think there will be two space in the sense something equal to this length, and this last base, the solid here. Let me call that as fifth row. Okay, just for notation. So in the first row, if you see, we have material. We have a let me call it as a slab or wooden part. Okay. So we have that to the right. So which means in the right and yeah, you can see in the first row and the column. So this is actually vacant. This is going vacant. Okay. So in the first row, this particular slab or the rod is actually positioned in the second column or something like that. So which means in all the options, if you see, so this is positioned in the second column. If you assume this as first column, this is the second column, so this is fitting, right? So like that we will check with other options also. So yeah, in the first row we need to have this much space and a gap here, a space here, so that this will come and sit here. I think you understood the question is like if I assume this as the other part, if I try to fix this, both should occupy and should not leave any space. They should form a solid together. Okay, so that's it. So yeah, based on that, let me do that. So I hope you remember that first, second, third rows and all. Yeah. So here something like this, right? Okay. Something like I'm just trying to draw this. Okay, so this is how the front face will appear. The face. You can actually do this also. The front face will appear something like this. So you can verify in option. Why I have drawn this? Because this is a cuboid, right? So when I join two pieces, they should perfectly form a box, right? Square cubical box. So cubical box, if this is the extra portion, then I need to have some material on the top as well as on the bottom. it should match with other rows, right? So this is how the front front surface should appear in short. I hope this is clear, right? So let us check in the options which one. So in the bottom I have this particular extension. I can see here, I cannot see here, so straight away I eliminate this. I can see here, I will keep this. I can see here, I will keep this. Okay. Then my requirement is I have this particular structure, which means like let's say 2 steps, then 1 step, right? So 2, 1. So this is fitting, so I will keep that. This is eliminated. So here if I see I have 2, 1, yes, I will keep that. Here if you see I have 2 steps here, but I need to have a step, I mean a cut here, right? So that this particular portion should go and fit it. But here it is plain, which means this is going to mix with it, which is not possible. So solid. So yeah, remove this. Okay. So I hope this is clear. So out of these 2 options we have to check. Now if you see, let us take this edge. So let's say 1, 2, 3 step, then there is a cut, and we have 4th step. So let's say this is 1 step, 2nd, 3rd step. I need to have a cut here before I see this part. So this cut is missing, right? So only if the cut is provided, then I can slide this part into this hole, right? So which is not available here, so I have to eliminate this. And yes, it is available here. You can see 1, 2, 3 steps and a cut, and this top one which will go and sit here, which is nothing but the one I am showing it here, right? And yeah, you can verify this also. This particular what you call slab, that's what I am calling. The slab is going to fix here, right? I hope this is clear. This is simple also. Let me draw the missing parts, right? So this front surface you can verify with the question, right? If you see the question, so this is how it should appear here. The missing part here is going to be the available part here. So the missing part here is the available part here is this one. So here the missing part should be this one, right? So the the available part here is blue dashed, hatched. So the same missing part should be hashed. So like that you can verify actually. So I think this is clear. This is kind of I don't call it a shortcut, but easy way of solving this. So yeah, let's move to the next one. I need to rush. Okay, the question is 5 blocks are placed one above another in a particular sequence as shown in figure. Okay, if a 6th block is added to the same sequence, which would be the correct top view? So the question is, we have 5 blocks shown here. So what will be the 6th block look like? Okay, so yeah, what can we do? Just let us think. Not comfortable. Let me do one thing. Fine. So yeah. So what is the catch here? 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is there. Yeah. So if I count that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks are there. Okay. So yeah, so 6 blocks are there, which is correct. So first check, I will in the options I will check if all the options have 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So just a cross check. Like if you are lucky, we can eliminate 1 or 2 options by that way, so that we can save time. That's from exam point of view. But yes, so mostly all of the options will have 6 that blocks. Okay, so yeah, so what I will do is, given this question, I will take only a few, let's say few blocks, or yeah. So if I take this edge blocks edge, and compare this with this blocks edge, let me call this as a front portion. I mean, I'm viewing from here and drawing it here, right? So the bottommost slabs or blocks, this edge, particular edge, looks like it is parallel to this one, right? So both these lines are appearing as if they are lying in a parallel to each other, right? So let's check in the options. So the bottom one, let me do one thing. So yeah, I will take this as green and this as red. So this is going to the greens for options, all right, and red is going to be the fifth one. 2 3 4 5. This is okay, it's also okay, this is also okay, this is also okay. Okay, so yeah, all are okay. And yeah, let's see what is happening here. What else we can do? The rotations is it has moved to this extent slightly, and from here to here slightly less, slightly lower, right? You are able to get that, right? So if you see this block and this block, the angle between, let's say, this line and this line, okay, if you remember this, let's say this is around maybe some 20%, 20 degrees could be. But the same thing, if you or I should be wrong in that way. So let me take this edge and this one, the movement of this particular corner edge, whatever it is. So if you see in every step, so this has moved to this much, and here this has moved to only this much, which is lesser than this, right? So the movement of this is higher than this one. Same way, the movement of this is actually higher than this one. So this movement is slightly lesser than this one. So obviously this movement should be slightly lesser than this one, something like this, right? Somewhere here, if I start from here, something like this, right? So which means the angle between this one and this particular bottom, this one should not be that high. Okay, and other thing is, if you see here, there is some projection coming out, like this particular block is popping out of this particular edge, right? So likewise this is also popping out, but slightly lower than this one, which means the area of popping out is actually lower than this one. So, and the area is going down again and again. If you see here, so it is almost touching, this particular edge is almost touching, slightly popping out still, but here it is perfectly touching, right? This corner or this corner, they are meeting at this corner. You are getting this, right? So here actually this should move further, which means if you compare with respect to this line, so this edge on the top should be little far from this particular surface. You're getting me, right? So which mean, if I check in the options, these two are lying on the same, this line and this corner are sitting together, which is not correct if I am not wrong. And here if you see, again they are lying on the same line, which is also not correct. Let me come here. So here this is actually popping out, which is wrong, because according to the previous step, it is already close to the wall, or sorry, this is the one, it is already sitting on the wall. So this is not correct. So if you check this one, it is the edge and this corner is actually not on the straight line but inside. And even the angle, if you check, this angle, sorry, okay, this is also not that high, right? Compared to if you check this one, the angle is actually higher. This is better, but the problem is it is sitting out here. So I think the option C should match. So I hope you got the logic, what I'm trying to say. So let me explain it further if in case you have doubt. So what I checked is, first I checked with this particular two parallel edges, and unfortunately all the options have parallel edges, so I couldn't eliminate any option. Fine, no problem. So then I observed the pattern, how this particular corner here, this particular corner is nothing but this point edge here. Okay, so this one is here. Okay, and this one is this one, this is going to be this. Okay, and this is lying on the this one, which is this. So which means if you see, this is going and moving something in this manner, and if you see in every step, the lengths are going reducing. Okay, that is one check, one cross check you can do. Fine. And the other one is like yeah, so other one is, let me put this up. So here in this corner, which is actually this corner, which is actually here, you can see this is popping out, which means this is crossing this edge little outside, right? And if you check this one with this, it is still crossing out, but not as much as this one is crossing out, right? If you check the next one, which is this one, corresponding to this one, it's almost close. And in the next one, which is going to be this, so it's touching, actually the corner is actually touching. So in the next step, which is this one, the top slab should not touch, it should go little inside. Okay, so that's the logic. I hope you got this. So likewise, you can take any other corner and check, like for example, you can even check this position, like I mentioned, how far this is, how far this is, how far this is, like that, right? Or this position, let's say this far. Yeah, so you can solve in that many number of ways. So I hope C is the answer. Fine, let's take the next question. I think that's the fourth one. Okay, kind of complicated it looks, but let's see if it is complicated or not. 5 figures are coded with symbols as shown below. From the given options, find the code for figure 1. Right, the 1 is here, the figure is here. So I need to find which of these 4 codes will represent this particular figure. So let's check that. So basically what you need to do is kind of reasoning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 patterns are given. So we need to identify similarity out of patterns, or the relation between the shapes and the codes. That is what we need to do. That is how reasonings are solved. So let me see repeated things. Okay, meanwhile you can also try thinking of what is happening here. Let me give some time here so that you can also think. I have already figured out one particular pattern here. Okay, I will continue then. Yeah, let me take. I hope you also identified some kind of pattern or observation here. So my observation here is, the first thing I did is I observed these straight lines here, 4 lines, open lines, which is present here in this here. Here they are not straight lines, but you see they are parallel lines, right? 4 lines again and open. And here if I see, again I have seen 4 lines, they are not parallel, some of them are parallel, 1, 2, 3, okay, and some of perpendicular, fine, but they are still open, right? And what is the common thing in these 3 patterns? Let's call it patterns. So here if you see, what are the common symbol appearing? I see this is not common. So this particular, if you see, which is zigzag but two parallel, right? They both are parallel, right? This one and this one are parallel. Parallel means which are which will not meet anywhere, which will meet at infinity or will not meet at all. So if you extend this particular pattern, they both will never meet, right? So that's called parallel. Perpendicular means exactly making 90 degrees. That's very basic. Okay, so yeah, so these zigzag two parallel lines, if you see wherever they are available, here, right, here and here, I am seeing four lines, right, and the four lines are all open-ended, not closed, and some of them are parallel. So that's what I can say. Some of them are here it is parallel, here it is parallel, here it is parallel, right? So that's one observation. Okay, so let's check the other, or we can straight away go to option and see if we can be of any, you know, we are fortunate or not. So I see one line here, another line here, a third line here, and a fourth line here. So I see this and these are parallel, right? These two are perpendicular. So four lines are there. If I assume, you know, this as a circle and this has separate lines, open lines. So yes, we have four lines here and some of them are parallel like these two. So maybe yes, we need this particular shape, right? So with that logic, so I will eliminate D. Any of the ABC should fit, right? So yes, so let's move ahead and see what else we can find out. Tells okay, drop is there, drop is there, drop is here. Yes, I think I got this. Yeah, so if I see the drop here, you know, fill drop, so I think if I see wherever the drops are present in the option in the given patterns, these three, and what is the common thing that we observe in all these three, that is what I am trying to understand. Okay, so here I see, you know, four circles if I'm not wrong, right? So 1, 2, 3 and the fourth one. Okay, so here 1, 2, 3 and the fourth one, right? 1, 2, 3 and the fourth one. So I need to have four circles. That is what I think is fitting here, right? So let's check that in the options. We have four circles here. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 here. I have the fourth one also. Yes, outside, right? So this is also a circle, right? So yes, I should see a drop here. I hope you got the logic. So only this option is having the drop. So probably this should be the correct answer. Okay, so I think you can check with other possibilities also, like you know, that the common relation between these two, because here in these two only I am seeing this particular sun kind of structure, right? So what is that? So you have this particular rectangle with the curved ends, right? Rectangle with curved. That's what I can say with these two particular patterns commonly visible, which is not visible on the other side. So let us see in option. We don't have this one. We should not have this one, because in the given figure 1, that you know, curved rectangular edged pattern is not visible. Something like this is not available here. So yes, so this should not come. Likewise, this should not come. So which is also fitting here, right? So like that, you can, you know, during practice you can play with others also. Sometimes, you know what, frankly speaking, some of the you know, these shapes or codes might not make any sense, because sometimes the questions might some parts of the questions will doesn't make any sense, like I have already explained in many of my previous videos, especially for logical arrangements of given 8 patterns, something like this. What will be the ninth pattern? And in that I have mentioned that some of the patterns doesn't make sense at all. So we need to identify which of the patterns fits, and based on that only we can straight away go with the answer. Like I have straight away taken this one, these parallel lines, and the similarity between this one. Likewise, if I check with this, maybe it will this kung fu symbol, right? This is kung fu symbol. So if I check this, maybe you will find something interesting, but maybe you may also end up finding nothing also. So it's okay. So when you are finding nothing, and which means when you are not able to derive anything out of one particular pattern, just move out and take up something else. So that's suggestion I would like to give here. So anyway, we have arrived at the solution very quickly. I hope this is clear. Let's move to the final question, because I have a meeting at 5:30. Okay, shown below on the left are two wooden pieces joined together. Okay, this part and this part, fine. The joined wooden block is cut at two places, AA and BB, which is this AA, this section, and BB. Okay, at 45 degrees. Okay, respectively as shown in the enlarged figure on the right, fine. Calculate the area shaded in black. Give your answer in square centimeter, fine. So the question is, given this block and this configuration, if we cut here and here, AA and BB, which are making 45 degrees each, right? That's the question. 45 degrees here or here doesn't make 45 here, means here it is also 45 degrees, right? So yeah, so what is the area of this shaded region? So how will I solve this? So basically for this kind of question, what I will do, I will split the requirement into parts. Like for example, visually I can see this as a triangle, right? You can see this as a triangle, right? Likewise, it's not straight, so let me take a line. Okay, so if I check from this side, it is going to be one triangle, right? I hope this is clear. And what I do here, yeah, so this is too thick. Let me take this. Okay, so I will split this into a rectangle and a smaller triangle here, fine. So likewise, I'll split this into rectangle again. So I'm just, for explanation, I'm drawing this all. In exam, you can visually straight away come up with values. I will explain how, but for your understanding right now, I'm showing all this, how I will divide the question into identifiable, recognizable, and easily solvable part, right? So this is how I will split the enlarged larger yellow triangle. I have this number of rectangles or square. I have this many number of triangles, leftover triangles, right? So if you see, let me also tell that this one triangle, right? So if this is also another triangle, which is almost similar, not almost, which is same, actually both are same. If you see, both are same, right? So if I place this triangle here over here, if I turn this and place it over here, so this is actually going to make a square, right? So even I don't have to calculate triangles value for this, but it's up to us, like how quickly you can solve. Maybe I will consider this both this as square or separate, because we have one more triangle here, something like that, right? So I hope this is clear. So how to split this into, now given this thing, what is the values? Because we know this has 7, this one, and this as 12 given. Okay, we don't know, for example, if this is a triangle, so if I want to know the side, how much is the side, how will I identify that? So that is what we need to do. So that is where math will come. So I will show you how easy it is to solve, because this is 45 degrees given 45 degrees, right? So if you see 45, beauty of 45 degrees is, this is also 45 degrees. Okay, so whatever the length here is actually going to be the same as here. Okay, so because if you see the quadrants, something called quadrants, this whole angle is 90 degrees, right? You know that, right? One complete angle is 90 degrees, like this is 90, this is 90, this is 90, so that the total, if you combine that, you will get 360 degrees. Basically the complete rotation, which is 360, I am dividing by 4, it is going to be 90 degrees each, right? 4 points, which is very basic. So one, if I consider one this, the 45 is going to be the center one, which means it is dividing these two portions into half, this one and this one. And if we take this point, draw a line here, let me take different color. This length is going to be this length, same. I mean, both are going to be same, because I have taken this into half length. So let me explain further. If I draw a line here, okay, so since this is 45, so this is perfectly going to be a kind of square. Okay, so this length is going to be this length. That is what I want to explain when the angle is going to be 45 degrees. Okay, we remove this. So likewise, because this is also 45 degrees, this length is actually going to be same as this length, which is 7. Okay, because this is 7. So yeah, let me take that. So since this length is 7, okay, and this is 45 degrees, you can actually take this is 90 degrees. You can actually take something called tan or something like that, so that you can identify this length also, given this is 7 length. So if you are not sure with trigonometry values like tan, sine and all, it's okay, still you can solve, because physically what you need to understand is, if this is 45 degrees, straight away the length, one side length is going to be the other side length also. So this is 7, so I have to say this is going to be 7, this much distance. Okay, clear until here where it is cutting. So since the total is 12, fine, so the remaining portion here is going to be 12 minus 7, right, which is going to be 5. Alright, so I hope you got this. Okay, so that is the beauty of math. So if 12 minus 7 is going to be 5. So again, since this particular BB is making 45 degrees, they have mentioned, so this is also going to be 45 degrees. Let me take different color. So which means, like we have seen here, this length is going to be same as this length, so which means this is also going to be 2 minus 5, which is 5. Okay, or if you are not confident with that, let me do one thing. Since this is 7 centimeter, these parts, if you see this cut, this portion, second portion, third portion, fourth portion, this fifth portion, sixth portion, seventh portion, you got this, right? Like these slabs or extensions, they're actually similar in let me say that as height, right? So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 such portions, which mean each of this is going to be 1 centimeter, right? This is 1 centimeter, this is 1 centimeter, this is going to be 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter again, 1 centimeter. Fine, I hope this is straightforward. So likewise, you don't have to even calculate this. So let us see, this is 1 2 3 until here 4 5. right? So you have 5 centimeters here. Okay, so you have 5 here, you have 5 here. All right, so like I have already mentioned, this is 1 centimeter, right? So this length and this length are going to be same, which is 45 degrees, because, or you can visually also say that this length is actually same as this length, which means this is actually a square of size 1 by 1, which means 1 breadth and 1 height, right? So this is going to be rectangle. If I split into two parts, two squares fixed, so which means this is going to be 2 by 1. I hope I'm making sense, right? So this is, if I split this into like this, yeah, two squares here. So this is 1 cross, this is 2, height 2, right? So if I see this, this is 1, 2, 3, right? So 3, length is 3, this rectangle's length is 3 cross, the rectangle's height is going to be 1. Clear, right? So like I already said, I will take this and this as 1 unit, because I will club these two triangles and get one square. Like if I take this dark portion and fix it here, it is going to be fixing here, so which is going to be 1 by 1, right? So I'm left with this particular triangle, which is something like this. So the height, this is 1, this is 1, okay, this is 90 degrees. So let me put the what you call the formula for it. No, if I turn this like this, so this particular side I have drawn here, this particular vertical one I have drawn here, so that the angle 90 degrees is here, this one is here, just rotate it to anti-clockwise 90 degrees. Okay, so now the area of this is going to be half base into height, which we have seen plenty of times. Half base is 1, height is going to be 1, right? This is base, this is height, so this is going to be 1 by 2, which is 0.5. Got it? So this is going to be 0.5, so let me add that 0.5. okay, I hope this is clear. So we have 1, 2 ones 2, 1 2's 2, 3 ones 3, 1 ones 1, this is 0.5, and we are left with this bigger triangle. This is 90 degrees, as is clear. So let me rotate it. Instead of identifying all this, let me rotate like before. Okay, so the 5 here, let me take a different color. The 5 is this one I have written here, and I'm going to draw this one here. Okay, so I hope this is clear here, which is also 5, and this longer what you call side I will draw here, which we don't know, which we don't require also, which we don't need also. Or if you want, you can take that Pythagoras theorem and find out 5 square plus 5 square, which is not required as of now, because we just need area, which is going to be half base, which is 5, into height, right? Height is going to be this, which is 5 again. So this is going to be 25 by 2, which is 12.5, right? So I will just add 12.5 here. I hope this is clear. So you just have to add all this. I hope you got how I arrived at 1 by 1 by 1, 2 by 1. 1 by 1 means this square, the square or rectangle, area of which is going to be A. If the side is A and the side is B, area is going to be A into B. This I have explained in previous video. You can check that on basic maths if you want. So A cross B, so which is 1 cross 1, which is 1 into 1 is 1, right? Cool. So 12.5 into 0.5, 13, 14, 17, 19, 21, 22. So the total is going to be 22 centimeter square, I guess. Okay, so the area is 22. So I hope you got this. I have just parted this particular shape into identify easily recognizable parts. First thing. Other thing is I have arrived at this length using basic math principles, which is if it is 45 degrees, the length here is also going to be length here. The length here is going to be here. Okay. So yeah, that's it. I hope we have solved all the 5 questions. I hope this is clear. This made some valuable information to you. If in case that helps, let me know. Thanks for watching. Let's catch up with next video if I get time. So yeah, bye bye.